We're recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello there, listeners, watchers. For this case, we're going into this with nothing. We got nothing on this case, just like how I got nothing on. So for this video, I want you to get a little comfortable. I want you to also come into this video with nothing on. Enjoy the trial.
Enjoy us looping around to Trucy doing it, because that's who did it. And I'm not changing my mind. Wow, we're just going straight in, huh? Okay. Court is now in session for. How do I say that? Oh, I guess there's no pre-lobby talk because we can't talk.
Yeah, I doesn't even speak American. Much to buy, Your Honor, the pixie of the arpeggio.
Right, his trial. Court is in session. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is A-OK, Your Judge.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin.
My opening statement, ja?
No. Actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about.
No, you can't have my signature.
Say you're gonna visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease.
You're gonna visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease.
What do you say to them?
Goodbye?
I mean, you wouldn't say, get well soon, right? You won't be kicking them when they're down. What are you talking about? Actually, I'm gonna visit someone who is terminally ill.
Is it Phoenix?
Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son, Phoenix Wright. The Chief Justice?
Why is he bringing this up? This fucking case is whack.
I don't know. His son is afflicted with a most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems.
He's trying to say, let's speed this up. Huh? Let's go.
So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. So everybody's trying to speed up the court, and we're gonna sit here and delay it. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending?
She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, why are you looking at me like that for? You're the killer. In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Von Karma style. 10 minutes
Yeah.
on the clock.
This case will be over in 5 minutes. Sorry.
Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement. Briefly, 10 words or less.
You're in luck, Air Judge. This kid did it. I believe you'll be going to the hospital sooner than you think.
What?
First, to review the victim in the case. Romaine Lettuce, age 35. The global manager for the diva songstress, Lami. The cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber rifle.
Revolver.
Rifle. This report has all the details.
The court accepts this into evidence. Loss of blood from
Is that our
gunshot.
first evidence?
What? Where's our list? Must be a new page. 45 caliber. That's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet.
What was he trying to write?
I don't know. We never
However,
figured it
the
out.
bullet struck him in his shoulder. The danger to the body was slight. Death was not imminent. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved.
I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse considering. Wow.
2 shots were fired. One shot misses, and the other penetrated the victim right through his shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe. Diagram. This is where the bullets hit.
So does that mean that you think they came from the window then?
I think that's what they're gonna try to say, yeah. But like the gun was in the room. Did they fucking shoot him when they whipped the gun in there?
Yeah, you're right. I see. The corpse accept this evidence.
The corpse.
If we're talking about 45 caliber revolver rifle, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really?
Oh, what, you playing dumb? Yeah, apparently. Weapons that size are a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body.
So what about an 8-year-old blind boy?
The defense would take more care in choosing examples.
As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door.
That does seem to be the case, yes.
However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet, when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the body, of course.
But that's impossible.
Exactly. This murder was impossible. Everything about this case is stupid.
It's a this is a closed room murder, isn't it? Like that scenario.
For all but one person.
One person?
That is, of course, the defendant, much to buy.
Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how?
It's quite simple. He shot him.
Very well. I'll accept that. Guilty. Alright, we're done here. Please show the witness to the stand so we can begin this quickly.
Your name and profession, please.
I'm a Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder. Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know. I'm sure that makes her feel so much better.
I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony, if you would. Describe the circumstances of the day and your discovery of the crime, please.
Alright.
Gotcha, Emma. Every time you lie, you finger your snackoos.
Are you gonna eat your snackoos while testifying? That night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
But that door was the only one out of the room, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't get it. How can they say that Machi did it?
Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. Security backstage. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Ugh. Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, allow me to just explain. I smelled something that day. You might say the stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Yesterday.
Conspiracy?
Well, isn't it obvious? My keys, that whole morning, no. My whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my keys.
That's the most upset he's looked so far. Over his keys.
I couldn't ride my hog, I couldn't open my guitar case, I couldn't even write a decent song.
There.
There he goes again.
Is it possible he simply misplaced them?
Misplaced them! The victim had them in his damn hand!
What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect!
Love, slow acting and new. Atroquinine is waiting for you. He's singing something.
Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top?
The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound, with a guitar on fire. Anyway, I didn't want anything else. I didn't want anything else stolen. So I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task.
I see. I can accept that. Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on their hands? Anyways, the testimony. All people of all concert in some way were allowed backstage. We were let in though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you.
I gave the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now.
Woo, good for your relationship. Some other hanger-ons tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So no other outsiders were there then.
Except the yellow magician.
And then beginning the third act, hook shots. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos. Like right now. Yum.
It's supposed to be chocolate, but it looks like a little fucking sausage.
I thought they were sausages this whole time.
She said they were chocolates, though.
Oh. They definitely look like sausage snacks. Well, hey, no snacking in court.
And you're sure the shots came from Lami's room?
Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this will keep you quiet.
I got snackled.
Ah, thanks. She snackled me. So, how about it? We were right there. How did we mistake about that? Please, either talk or eat, not both at the same time. Right, so after that, Me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Went to a room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. Rock? Blaring, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to music?
No, paper, scissors.
To this rock and roll music so popular these days? That's right, when we went into the dressing room.
What year did this game come out?
Probably early 2010s. 2010s. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They probably stopped on the stage and they're backstage through speakers.
2007.
Really? Huh. That way people in the back can hear what they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud?
You don't listen to the Gavineers with your ears. You listen with your heart. I mean your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume.
When we walked into that room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe. Making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you could hear that music playing...
Then everyone on the stage for that song has an alibi. Including myself.
Anyways, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. Examine the scene, determine only the defendant could have done it. How? How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know that there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack. And I was standing in front of that door. So, how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility, the air vent. Ah. But that air vent was too small. Well, who could possibly... Exactly. Ah, shit. There's certainly no way you can get through. Nor me.
The ladder was folded up and leaned against the wall, though. What, you think he fucking used the ladder, crawled up there, and then fucking, like, flipped it perfectly so that it folded and leaned against the wall?
Oh, my assumption was that he just leaned the ladder up against the wall and just climbed it. And then just left it. Left the ladder leaning up against the wall.
But he's blind.
Yeah, you're right. The only one who could fit, though, was a child. A child? Remember, access to those rooms were limited.
Is it Trucy?
Yeah, you know, so I just want to say, Trucy fits the...
Yeah, Trucy's getting more and more suspicious.
Trucy fits the qualifications for this crime, just saying. Only those involved with the concert were allowed.
And all of the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child.
The defendant?
Matchy Tabachi, the pixie of the Arpeggio, flitted up towards the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime.
But that's just conjecture!
Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there, you should know, Hair Forehead.
And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that had recently been opened. Well shit. Wait,
This
what?
is where Gavin stored his coke.
And something else was found, quite clearly. The defendant, Machi Dubai's fingerprints. Order!
That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Hair Forehead, What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is our Pixie. Why are you staring at me, Apollo?
Because I know you fucking
You don't think I did it, do you?
Because I know you did it, Trucy.
I can't fly, I don't have tricks. Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience.
Yeah, that's what you say. So this was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. Huh? The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. Oh no! I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit.
I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. And fortunately, the criminal has left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. I can't even think of a contradiction.
Yeah, I'm like, what do we even say? Like, it's Gavin has a solid case.
Yeah, we got nothing.
They make a solid case.
All we can say is he's blind.
He's blind. How can he climb the
ladder? The gun would break his little arm.
The gun would break his arm. Yeah, but like
Actually, whose gun was that? Was it Lettuce's gun?
We don't know.
Just showed up.
It's just a murder weapon.
Yeah, that's whose fucking rifle is that?
I don't know. But there's nothing to refute. So
yeah, and it's not like we're gonna catch Emma in a lie. She was there with us. She said exactly what happened.
Yeah, very well. I believe this trial's finished.
All right, case 4.
All right, chapter 4, everybody. If the defense has no contradicting evidence.
The prosecution has presented our proof, clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain. Ah, Apollo, they got us on the ropes already. We better come up with something quick.
Yeah, pretend to get kidnapped again. I'm sure it'll work a second time. I know. Think, what can get us out of this? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that...
Well, Lettuce said that the siren was the witness.
Yes, also, Lami's probably important because Lami says that... Didn't Lami say that he never leaves her side?
Well, he's always... I don't know about that, but he's always by her side.
Yeah, so, like, it's weird for him to commit a crime if he's always by her side, you know? Mr. Justice? Do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you better tell us about it now. This is it. And so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof? I think we call Lami. I think that's the play.
Yeah, call a witness.
Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there was no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely sure?
Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. So if you come up with one person, I'm quitting. And on my million-seller hit song, Atroquinine, my love. There he goes again.
That's too bad. Because there was a witness. So you better get ready to quit.
Fuck, here's my badge.
Oh, really now? Thanks for the badge. But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not? Because I am the only one in the world who knows this.
So clearly it's true.
He's alive.
Forging evidence, Apollo!
Mr. Latus, can you hear me? Yeah, what if Apollo tells us and then chooses like nice trick?
Yeah.
She was like, damn, nice trick you learned from us. Making up fake testimonies, crazy.
Yeah, and then Mr. Hat flips out of Apollo's bracelet.
What? The victim said this before he died?
Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. Apollo,
you
you
mean by
seem like
that?
you're full of shit. Do you have a witness to this claim? All we know is what Herr Forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. It's all about that he said, she said bullshit.
Oh yeah? But it's the truth! He said it! I even told you about it. But apparently, you ignored me completely. Bitch.
It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution. I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty.
Perhaps a stiffer penalty than is usually called for? Like
No, don't-
double air guitar.
No, don't increase my bar to 3 now. There's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice.
Lami. Mr. Lettuce.
Mr. Lettuce. I can actually speak to the dead. Lami? Recall Mr. Latus's last words. Hey, witness is the siren. Her name's Lami. The siren? Aha, you meant the siren. That's right. The siren of the ballad. Lami. Lami was only on stage for the second set. And she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. Or a murder, but we'll go with the witness part. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin.
My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime.
Very well. Let's hear from the horse's mouth then, shall we?
She's a horse. Keep making fun of her. Dig at her, Judge.
We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lami to the witness stand. Lami will say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is.
It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom.
You are too kind. You can speak American? Yes, I can. Though I am not very good, there is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it. What? What does she mean she doesn't know how she learned this language?
I, too, thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course.
What's that?
Lami suffers from amnesia.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. Amazing. Amnesia? Lami is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage.
Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought.
You're also a lot more sus now.
As lauded singer Lami, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress.
I see. I care surprisingly little about people's past. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lami. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened.
Lami, let me be frank. And you can be Lami. I did not want you to come up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. And he's ugly.
Oh my, he does have a wide forehead.
Congratulations, Apollo, you suck! And you're ugly.
Oh yeah, you just wait until we turn this around on you, Trucy. You just wait. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. In fact, sing it.
Can we pause for like 5 minutes? I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying.
There you have it. She saw nothing. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat. And refrain from detaining her longer than need be. Wow, you just got worse, Apollo. Way to go!
You just fucking wait, Trucy. You just fucking wait, I swear to God. Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet. Lami wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I gotta find out what. That's what I saw nothing. It's quite a bold statement saying you saw nothing. Well, you must have seen something. Mr. Lettuce named you. Mr. Lettuce? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lami, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. It was a great concert. I love that guitar part. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. You know, if you have some spare time. Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. This is crazy. I thought out of everybody, Truce to be the one asking for autographs, not you. If anyone just an autograph here, it's me. One of my gavel would be nice.
Here, Judge.
What's this?
It's my autograph. Now let's get this trial moving.
What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy. Apparently his grandson's a big fan.
Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lami. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance.
He's lying when he said that. He's pissed about it. You didn't return backstage, huh? You didn't return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do.
While
for
they were
a
playing,
performance.
she was cleaning?
I think there are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Machi. Our plan out the window. That was left by the police to Mr.
Go back. I returned backstage after this. Look at her evidence. I bet she did.
Or she dropped her brooch. But we don't know when she dropped it, you know?
We know... We saw her wearing it before the show, so we know that she had it while she was on stage.
Oh, because we saw her performance, right?
Yeah, we saw her wearing it.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a contradiction. Okay. Then I was left by the police to Mr. Gaffer told to wait there. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does. Though I believe he was
He always
shocked.
has sore arms and is crying.
Though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Ledis' death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion.
Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gone very far.
We sat there, waiting. I learned that something happened. One told details. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Ledis died. Of course, investigation requires some security. But Mr. Ledis was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. We have a very strong 3-month relationship, you see. Both Machi and I were besides ourselves with concern.
Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you.
Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about our testimony?
It's hard to imagine Lami lying.
She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What did she tell me the night of the murder? Alright, brooch. Did not return backstage after the second set. I can't bracelet her. We can't look for her tails.
You usually can't until you contradict them once.
I'm sorry, Lami, but I'm having trouble believing you. Hey, you remember this brooch, do you not?
Hey, that's Lami's. She was wearing it for her song.
Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin?
What? Are you fucking trying to pin me to the wall?
This brooch was found after the murder took place. At the very scene of the crime!
What? You fucking got me and I'm sweaty.
Lami, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And, as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us in his sweaty form, you have been wearing it during your performance that night. Okay, I didn't understand what's happening there for a sec. What is the meaning of this? Lami, please explain. Lami?
I set his guitar on fire, then I shot him. She says English is quite difficult when I'm caught lying.
The trick's not gonna work here.
Your forehead may be large, but you're a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact.
What now? Damn, you're actually really good at her language, Gavin. 要不熟悉话说出来。
In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment.
What? What? 我是小时老手手。
Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak.
She really saying all that?
What's she talking about, Apollo?
Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. I want to make sure no one comes in.
She was the one. Remember, there was like a door closing noise.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Lars, can you hear me? So cold, witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way.
It's like the fucking 6th time they've replayed the scene.
They really want us to know that the wind is a siren. They really, really want us to know. What's wrong? Are you still thinking it's the refrigerator?
Might be.
I looked into the room, just a glance, mind you.
So, this is when your brooch dropped. That explains that.
It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. But that's ridiculous. You only looked it for an instance, and you dropped your brooch?
Her forehead.
What?
She has raised a possibility that the only thing that can counter that is evidence.
So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course.
She didn't hear the gunshots?
Remember, she wasn't backstage, is what she's claiming, so she would have missed a gunshot if that story's true. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice.
Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" No doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Cords of wood.
My pride. I closed the door immediately. Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. It's crazy that you opened the door for a split second and toss your brooch 10 feet into the room. That's crazy. That's too convenient.
And then
She's
Emma
hiding
came in
something.
1.5 seconds later and didn't see her.
Yeah. Lami, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well, though it was only the briefest of glimpses. Oh. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for just a moment. I saw nothing. The late Mr. Latusse's body was behind a wall.
Okay, let's perceive this.
Perceive!
Her mouth's not moving.
That's weird.
That was weird. Do it again.
I saw nothing.
What the fuck? Go down. How is she talking with her mouth closed? I wish we could zoom out as horny eye.
There's the floor. So
Can't see her hands?
Nope, I can't see her hands.
Is there something with her eyes, maybe? Also, was it behind a wall?
The late
I
Mr.
can't remember. I think there was a wall, yeah. That's not the late... He wasn't dead yet. Can we look at that little like diagram? Yeah, he was behind a wall.
I was gonna say, how can you see it? Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. We'll take the point. I was trying to zoom in on it. I was gonna say that. Can't you see the body? With the wall blocking her, but it's kind of pointing out, right? The hand. Can't you see the body from here?
I mean, there was I don't think so, but there was a change. Like, when we perceived her, like, her mouth stopped moving.
Let's perceive
like, maybe
a
look
different
at a different statement, see if her mouth stops moving.
Okay, this one. This one should be true.
Horny eye.
I went backstage for just
Put down a little bit.
Like here? Further?
Okay. No, yeah, I think that showed me she talked the whole time.
Yeah.
How the fuck is she talking without moving her mouth? Is she a ventriloquist?
Maybe, but that could be the tell, you know? Backstage for just a moment. Saw nothing. The late Mr. Lou's body is behind a wall.
Yeah, maybe try to do the perceive thing. We haven't fucked one up yet either. So if you get it wrong, at least we get to see what happens. Can you see your hands or anything?
No, this is the first down I can scroll.
Does her veil move or anything? Oh yeah, she doesn't.
Actually, that's a good question. Let's look at it again, see if the veil move when her mouth didn't move.
What the fuck? She's swallowing.
Oh, interesting. Man, I think we got the tell here, you know?
Yeah. We found the secret to her talent. She's a lip syncer. It's gross looking. Time to break her mind.
The late Mr. Latouse's body, you say? Yes? You know something more about Mr. Lettuce's death than you are saying. What? I could see you trying not to remember. But the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my beautiful eyes. What are you talking about?
You can see me swallow even though I had a veil.
It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latouce have to be shot? One moment, Lami. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Lettuce have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something. I knew it. Lami, I'm afraid you haven't...
She knew he was shot. She was pretending like she didn't know that, remember?
Yeah, Lami, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but... Your words just now contradicted your testimony. Eh? How could that be? Take this! Lami contradicted her own testimony. I have the evidence to prove it. What? This is new. Is it the gun? Because she didn't. How did she know he was shot? Right?
Crime scene. Picture of him shot in the shoulder.
Let's see. She said, "Why did Mr. Latouce have to be shot?" Yeah, she says, "Why did he have to be shot?"
I guess try the gun or the picture of him with the bullet in his shoulder.
do the crime photo. If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction,
Oh fuck.
please you contradict Mr. Justice. What? I can't roll my library techniques. Your evidence is meaningless. Oh my goodness.
She played her own guitar solo with her swallowing.
I think so. Why did she say again? Why did Mitsus have to be shot? That's right. That totally contradicts his testimony. Take this. Contrary to own testimony, I have the evidence to prove it. The gun.
Oh
Really?
no!
We got that
What
wrong?
is it?
Why did he? Okay.
She said that she didn't see anything because
Yeah.
there's a wall in the way. Is it a pic? Is it the picture of the room?
Yeah, is it the picture of the room?
Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know what's going on. Why did he have to be shot?
What's that one say? The third one.
To ensure the efficiency and secrecy of our investigation, the bearer is hereby ordered to speak to no one outside the investigation concerning.
Is it just
any
that she
details.
couldn't have known he was shot unless she saw it because we couldn't tell her?
Yeah, could be. I mean, that's the only thing we got left, right?
We did the gun already, right?
We did the gun, we did this picture, we did this picture.
What about the autopsy? What does that say?
Don't think that'll help. Doesn't help either.
She was sightseeing the crime. Does somehow the brooch? Does that statement somehow make it prove that the brooch didn't fall off then? No.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's the stupid paper.
This one?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be like, she couldn't have known that he got shot unless she saw it.
We'll give it a shot. Let's go. Tell me, Lami.
Oh, it's a different sentence.
How did you know he had been shot? Well, immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Lettuce has been shot. How could you have known? Yuck. My mind.
Yes, Apollo Breaker.
Oh yeah, we breaking it alright. Lami!
We have one life and we're living on a dream.
You aren't hiding something from this court, I hope. That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Now I remember. Please, allow me to add to my testimony.
Of course. All we want to know is the truth. She looks kind of pale, huh?
She saw something. I know it. Even the victim said so.
She couldn't have seen that. I think that's immediately it.
I saw bullet holes
Press
in the
that and
wall.
then we might be able to present here.
Knew Mr. Lettuce had been shot.
She couldn't have seen that because they were like on her side of the room.
Only a glimpse? Yeah, you knew there were bullet holes? Yes, I recognized them immediately. I had seen bullet holes before, you know.
You have traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our little country.
Oh, actually, this is the most dangerous country I've ever been to.
So many guns.
I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days.
That's really cool. I hope I get to travel like Lami someday. Ooh, and I hope my friend gets shot. I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different feel, you know?
Maybe I should go on a Cores of Steel tour too.
More like Chords of Tin.
I saw bullet holes
Yeah,
in the wall.
I just say present here and show the picture of the crime scene. The third one, yep. She couldn't have seen that shit.
Lami, they call you the singer, the siren of the ballad. But lies are hardly becoming of such a creature.
Don't talk about becoming...
A put-down worthy of a prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Wait, you're the bad guy. Good job! Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your rod, character.
Come on, can I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lami, you looked in from the door for just a moment. Correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes. But they were in the wall the door is on. You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Yuck! Lami. Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you what it is that I saw. Yeah, this is a court of law. The happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it.
Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing.
But she knew how Mr. Les died. And he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lami. Very well. Lami, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was.
What? Why did she say this from the fucking beginning?
I don't know.
Machi's her friend.
So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say?
This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Hair Forehead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lami. I'm not gonna lie, I think this case sucks. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. I think, in my opinion so far, this is probably the weakest case of all the games.
But there's a lot.
It just doesn't feel as, like, well coordinated or anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like just random shit.
Maybe it'll all connect soon. I feel as though there is going to be a connection for everything soon. So
what's wrong? You don't look too happy.
This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Yeah, I think that's the feeling I'm getting too. There's something sus. Like I think the case is being like the fact that everyone wants to rush the case, like things are not lining up, like there's something wrong here.
Why was the body moved around?
I don't know, but that adds more to the whole. This whole case is weird. I think you're complaining about how everything's all over the place. I think that's on purpose for this case, and we have to figure out what. So you were heading towards the dressing room? Yes. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Emma and I heard those shots. I was on my way back. Something like a little window there, that's how I saw it. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes?
You need not worry, Lami. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail? Come on here, forehead.
That little window on the wall. I saw the crime from there. 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. You are certain that you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot much closer. And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene, no contradictions so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't Machi. It wasn't Machi who shot. Are you sure? Yes, quite certain.
It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Apollo, shut the fuck up!
Juicy, let's just listen to what you have to say, alright, girl? Can't you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see, it was a grown person. A grown person? That's a little vague. I'm sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly, you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man. A young man. He was almost made entirely out of wood. I couldn't believe my eyes. And you're sure of that? Yes, his voice was quite clear. He sounded like Kermit the Frog. Voice?
Mr. Lettuce, give me that hat back.
Look at this diagram. It seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I heard a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man.
So, you heard a voice. Wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Lettuce?
Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget the voice? If it was Mr. Lettuce who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man.
Apollo, this is a good testimony.
I don't know if you want to say that, Trucy. It's kind of making it harder.
This proves it wasn't Matchy, and there was only one other young man introduced in this case so far.
Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it will cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion on this testimony?
Oh, God, with one life.
I mean, we're not paralyzed, but... What?
It's probably contradictory, I just can't think of what.
I'm leaning towards contradictory as well. Just because, like, everything in this case so far, nothing is making sense.
Just click contradictory, maybe it'll lead us to the answer a little bit.
My reasoning behind why it's contradictory is if she did witness the crime, she certainly didn't report the crime. And she didn't report the crime, and when people told her that he was dead, she was acting dumb, like she didn't know what happened when she clearly knew what happened, right? I feel like she would have asked about him being shot and stuff if they told her that something happened and they were trying to keep it under wraps. But she knows what happened. She probably would have asked, but she didn't. She just played dumb. So I feel like there's still something that we don't know that she's hiding. That's what I'm leaning. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lami's testimony that rings false. What?
Bravo, Air Forehead. She just said that Matchy didn't do it. Now you're gonna tell her she's lying? You're colder than I thought. You're such a baddie.
I'm sure you remember what this problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As had been established, no grown man could pass through the air vent. Oh yeah, that too. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But what if he knew magic?
That means Lami has to be lying.
I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting.
It is as Air Forehead says. Yet, this is not the only contradiction either.
Oh, really? What next? What's he talking about?
Lami. I understand why you would want to protect Matchy. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature. You'd remember Matchy's voice.
Oh yeah, that too. What does the prosecution mean?
Apollo, what the fuck?
Gavin, what's going on?
Wait, I recall the scene of the crime well.
The state of the room.
Yes, when the murder took place, you could easily see through the fucking window. Oh yeah, that too. That window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it.
What? But I'm sure.
Lami, you're so full of shit. I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you is that, as a witness, you're something lesser. It seems like you have some kind of weird memory problems.
But she's the only eyewitness we have.
As you say, the victim named her the Siren as the witness.
That's right. That's what Mr. Lettuce.
We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Here, Judge.
Yes?
At the end of this rodeo, prosecution requested the witness be executed. Please.
I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. It's been a good 50 years since I've seen a public execution. I kinda miss it.
Yes, use the 45 caliber rifle.
Yes, we have the perfect weapon. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility.
Crustability.
But if Lami can't testify...
We don't have a chance.
This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case.
Danke. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I'd like to hear from Frowley and Detective again.
Wait, let me hear Lami's testimony one last time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises. Take that! This witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I cannot be of more assistance.
Well, you helped me. At last, back to the real trial. I said the real trial. Ready, Air Forehead?
Damn it, I hope I didn't just miss my only chance.
Frowley and Detective. So, where were we before we were rudely interrupted?
Don't ask me.
I dislike saying the same thing twice.
Can you repeat that?
I dislike saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for an encore.
If you would, Miss Sky. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Letters' killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling, but a lot of things have happened since then. Ah, yes, there was only one door in the room. And a witness, you, was standing in front of it. That air vent isn't very big, see? Kinda limits the people who could possibly get through. I certainly would have a difficult time. You sure would. Not that you would want it to be in there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert.
That's why Apollo was there.
The only one who meets the condition for a killer is the defendant.
And Trucy.
And Trucy.
A virtuoso performance. Couldn't have put it better myself.
She does state a clear case. Though, reading the report, something caught my eye.
Oh, what's that?
The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. The circumstances? Oh, the whole found on top of the stage? Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Hey, that's right, Apollo. You remember when we found Maggie? That was fucking weird.
She's right. Why did Mr. Lettuce's body disappear from the room and end up on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less.
Alright, make your guess. What's your speculation, Neng? I guess he has something very valuable on him, and he was shot to get it, but then Apollo interrupted it. The killer got away somehow, then later took the body so that he could retrieve the item. Perceptive observation there, Judge. Yeah, I don't know. I have fucking no idea.
All the way up to that
Maybe
stage?
it's to distract us from the real crime. They stole some other shit, and they murdered somebody and made it all fucking weird so you wouldn't notice.
Yeah, it could be a distraction tactic. Interesting. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough. You get a nose for things.
The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, Frowley and Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? How did this young boy pick up that giant body and carry it across, then lift the stage by himself?
I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics.
Oh yeah.
He moved the body to match Lami's song.
I forgot about the stupid lyrics.
No one in this country had more to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lami's song?
Yes, the guitar's serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not?
I told you the code. What do you mean? It's code?
All the events that day followed the lyrics of the song, including the kill the victim, move his body, rise to the sky, go to heaven. First, the keys my heart held on so tightly were stolen. Then prosecutor... Oh, sorry.
Then prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Lettuce's life was taken by a bullet.
The rest hardly needs explanation. But I'm going to anyway. Let's go together, up into the sky.
That's mad! It's like a story out of some fairy tale. I'll admit, I forgot about the song. But there it is now, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were.
Hey! You know, I was the one who first noticed that.
Nah,
Give
I
me
know.
props. Pat me on the head.
You did nothing. I've heard jumping rope to songs and counting to songs. But killing?
It's a wild world out there, Air Judge.
Very well. We've heard one song and dance. Let's get on to the next, the cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. Lee Machi stole a body on some lyrics, huh? Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics? I didn't believe myself. But it can't just be a coincidence.
It is as Frowley a detective says. Let us begin with the first verse, if you would.
What? You want me to sing it?
Go ahead, sing. You are the witness, Shaw. Or did you want me to sing? I warn you, my fee is not trivial.
Fine, fine. Go
Go ahead, Neng.
Let's look at the first part of the lyrics, shall we?
Sing it in her voice.
When you stole away... when you stole away the keys, my heart's held on to so tight.
Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped key ring was stolen that morning.
Next, we go to the right page of the lyric sheet. Where we find... Burning on in my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. That was cool. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away.
Bullets of love!
Mr. Lettuce's life was taken by a bullet.
Bravo! Your singing's not that bad.
Oh, thanks, I practiced.
Now for the finale! Savari! Guitar!
Up together.
Oh, you
want
to duet with me? I'm singing right now, shut up! Guitar! Up together in the sky! As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Lettuce was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. No series of coincidences could be well so conceived. I fucked that sentences up.
He's right, scientifically speaking. What would Walkie have said? That console is whack. Thanks, Walkie.
It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that.
Anyways, the shooter. Move the body
That was a
back.
long press.
Yeah. Does the prosecution have any idea why you do all this? You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. A deep reason?
Not only did he steal my keys, but he fucked up my guitar. Unforgivable acts, even if he had a reason, and worse if he had none.
The Diva's complaint aside, I can't imagine someone doing this on just a whim.
Brilliant detective, I take offense to this.
Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say. Yeah, this crime was planned for sure.
Why are you ignoring me?
No one in this country had more to kill the victim. But Mr. Lair spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Great.
You see, no one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in an elaborate fashion.
It does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt.
What did you say? I wouldn't kill somebody unless it was fun.
Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song? I've
No,
never
it's
seen
not
such
fun.
never seen such tactics before. Amazing, I'm gonna buy your album.
Oh, maybe I should kill more people. Of course not, and I'm quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need a promotion? I'm already famous. They're even in my textbook at school.
I've never heard of them. What does that say about me? I'm just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. Practically left his signature at the scene? What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious.
Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed.
It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun.
Yeah, but he's way shorter. Wouldn't the bullet hole be like into the ceiling if with that angle?
I don't know.
That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring the whole time, Ja. Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound.
A blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? You know what? I think we just sit back and watch. I think this thing's been going good so far. Actually, do we sit back and watch? What do we have to counter? What do we have to contradict?
The angle on the bullet holes, I think.
Yeah. Raise an objection. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see.
Oh, how so?
Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The
revolver shot him, not Machi.
The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your line.
The defendant, Machi Tobae, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and miss it entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim.
It's another point that it would be Machi.
A convincing argument, to be sure. Take that, smug prosecution.
Apollo, you're sucking right now.
Huh? What? I thought it was cool.
That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, fucking him over?
Oh.
It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point.
Yeah. Shit, I really put my foot in it this time.
But let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, detective.
Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. Right. From the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind.
Impressive.
You can't say he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof per se. Huh?
You've merely raised a possibility.
What?
Fraulein Detective has made the most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent, and they found his walking cane there. There was no walking cane.
But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place?
Fuck, you got me. Fraulein Detective, would you care to explain?
He certainly seemed sure of himself. Recall the crime scene, if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone's backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobai. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of the stepladder. But why is this the first time I hear about this?
You could have figured it out yourself. You only needed to consider that the stepladder was doing there. I can't believe they brought the stepladder joke into the crime.
Looks like the defense's objection had been squished by a stepladder.
Well, Air Forehead? Out of ammunition, perhaps?
I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood.
Apollo, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need. We need something to prove the killer could see. Maybe like the victim tried to write his name on the floor and then he wiped it out. That'll put him in his place.
Proving the shooter was sighted would do it. That would take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence that can prove that, though? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Fine. I accept the prosecution's challenge.
As I knew you would, idiot.
What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is just saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see? Therefore, Machi, who also couldn't see, did it? The defense will please present their evidence. On your last life bar, evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see. So your theory is that they wiped the name off?
It does look like it wiped the name, right?
It does look wiped, yes, because it clearly looks like someone tried to wipe it off, but it wasn't him. His hands are not in any form to be wiping it off, you know? So yeah, I do think someone tried to wipe it off.
Yeah.
This is that evidence! The photograph at the crime scene? I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face. But this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point.
Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, huh?
Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of crime is...
Yeah.
The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains? I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head. Much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court. It's almost as if he wrote something.
Aha, I get it. At least I think I get it. He tried to write Trucy and I wiped it. No, I guess I don't really understand. Get what, Fraulein? When Mr. Lettuce was shot, he tried to write something? And what would he write but the shooter's name? Hold on one sec, Neng. Give me 1 minute. And what would he write in blood? Oh, sorry. And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh?
Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion.
Drat. I wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Then maybe you should have rubbed it out, Trucy. Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind.
Neither would I.
No one has anything else to say? About what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree that this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Lettuce was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. But what if Mr. Lettuce shouted out, "I'm gonna write your name right here so everyone knows you did it"? once he saw what it was. But what did you just testify about the shooter?
Why did he say the witness siren? Why didn't he just say the name of the killer?
I think his dying message has a meaning that we don't know. I mean, I've been thinking that from the very start. That's not just straight up, ask Lami. I think it's something else. Ah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that! The killer had to have been able to see! Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machitobai, is blind? He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order! Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, look at this photo. It seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet, up until now...
Seems I owe the court an apology.
Hmm?
The Gaviniers are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during one of our shows. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner.
I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here.
Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is he relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us. Let's rock! With these documents, but before that, I have a question for the detective. If I may.
What?
Why do you think that he's blind?
Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind.
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lami lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. Are we really about to say what I think we're about to say?
I have a report here on the defendant, Machi Tabai. According to this, Machi can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy put together by those clever Borginians.
I like how you always struggle to read Borginians.
Borginians. He can see quite well.
But you said...
What did I say exactly?
Uh-oh.
Herr Forehead, not once in the course of this trial did I say he was blind.
Wow. Gavin's really out-lawyering us big time. We're getting fucking smoked.
The only one who did was the detective.
But that's...
A significant fact, yes. Consider, Machi Tabai sees, and he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this.
But what about the bullet holes in the wall?
Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback that made him miss. It was a simple accident, in other words.
Ah!
How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies.
Ah! I can't believe we fell for this master plan trap that he laid out. Ah!
I knew you didn't have what it took. You suck.
You jerk! Just what was I in here for? Comic relief?
Yeah, apologize. Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize.
He's angered the trucy now. Look out. If we can please end the bickering, now. Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this, humiliated. I'll come up with some clue to solve this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. Aha! Aha, what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yeah. We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right. With this. It's called luminol. Yay! Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood.
Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet?
Huh. As if I'm gonna tell you, loser.
The bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it in court here, now.
Right. Go for it, Apollo. You do it. What? Why do I have to do it? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Easy. And I'm lazy. A chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it. Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just press space to spray an area.
Just spray as fast as you can. Go.
Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire corps are focused on me. I can't embarrass myself with this.
Takes the spray bottle part of the off and just dumps it on there. Apollo, your hands are shaking.
God, let's do this.
Faster, faster.
Wow, that was not.
It says, "Happy birthday."
Enhance. Wow, it really works.
314206.
IP.
IPXX? What is this, a fucking CAPTCHA?
IPYX 314206.
It's a CAPTCHA. This must be the power of science!
It says IPXX 314206?
Okay, now flip it upside down. Does it say something different? No, it's pretty convincingly that. What the fuck is that? Dude, this case is so stupid. What is it?
Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is. If the killer's a robot.
I have it!
So what is it?
Sorry, I said that a little enthusiastically. I thought those were letters IPXX, and I thought they looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number.
Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency?
Was it a badge number?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number?
Why would Mr. Laris even know a number like that?
Good show, Detective. Rock on.
Eh?
Your Honor, can we verify this number immediately? It's gonna be his number. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Oh, it's Darian. Darian, you heard what we need. Go, check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 27 minutes.
But I could be at the hospital by then. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh wait, I know. What if Machi Dubai is really an undercover Interpol agent?
That would be a possibility.
A possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as the killer for certain. Why did Lettuce know an Interpol ID number? Guys, it's clearly his number. That's what I want to know.
Well, we have some time while we wait for Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tabai.
What are you talking about?
Fraulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could, in fact, see, just before the trial began. It seems too much of a bother to tell you.
Also, it was a funny prank. You had me until that last bit.
Does this raise a rather straightforward question?
Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see?
Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, Air Forehead?
Huh? Me?
Oh, sorry, Ren just brought Jay down here. Machi Tabai pretended he was blind. Do you know why?
How can you know?
Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he?
He's known from the start of this trial. He's been leading us on this whole time.
Something wrong?
No.
Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why.
I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything?
There was a reason why Machi pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now?
It wasn't for himself? Well, Mr. Justice? Can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness?
Make him present it. Why would we have to? Look at that. Yeah. Examine it. Sightseeing music.
I'm assuming it's because of Lami, right?
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to think of why would him being blind make it help Lami out?
It helps her career?
Why? Do we have proof?
Not in the evidence, but I feel like we had this conversation before with Lami and them.
What is it a profile? Wish we had more than one life.
My assumption is...
I think it's for that. It's just for publicity.
Yeah, that's what my assumption is. Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see. Which means, no, it couldn't be.
Good show, Hair Forehead. Seems you've thought of something.
Why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to take my cues from this guy. Very well, look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see! That is... Lami? Lami and Machi Tubai. Recall their relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lami and the pianist, they would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was quote-unquote blind. She led him at all times, never let him go. All times? Yet, we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see! Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their, performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing.
She's blind. Lami's blind.
You know, I didn't think about that. Really? Really? It was all the other way around. I don't know how you got to that conclusion, Kevin, because I had no idea.
Because he's leading her by the hand.
How did you get to that conclusion, though?
Because he's leading her by the hand, and that would explain why she when she looked in the window, she couldn't tell who the shooter was. She just heard young man.
Oh. It was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lami! What's this? So you mean to say that Lami is... She's... Yes, Your Honor. Lami is blind. What? Order! This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin.
Is it now?
Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim.
The only thing outrageous I see is the defense and his vast forehead. Yet, I see it is not vast and vain this time. He's quite correct.
But that makes no sense. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something?
Well, since we have her here...
What?
Why not ask her? She's still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case?
Don't ask me. I fucking have no idea what's going on right now. This is a clown fiesta case. I hadn't even imagined it up until now. Bailiff, bring in Lami.
Lami Royer, it pains me deeply to call you this way before us again. And yet I must.
Please do not be concerned on my behalf.
And you don't be concerned that there's a female voice behind my voice.
Those eyes, she really can't see? Really? It is true.
I kind of like want to go back through the case and be like, what were some of the things she said that would have given it away?
Well, we can't do it now, but we can go from this point forward. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world. So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before. I have no memory of the time before I became Lami Roar. No too that my memories begin in darkness. This is gonna fucking come back.
Is her name a play off of Mirror? Like La Mirror?
La Mirror? Yeah.
Yeah, because she can't see? I don't know.
The word light has no meaning for La Mirror. I can't stop seeing it as La Mirror. I see.
You may recall me saying something towards the beginning of this trial, Herr Forehead.
What's that?
I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses.
Ah.
Now, the mirror, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes?
Of course, my special eyes. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yeah, of course. Though I admit, I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a little bit lost here, Your Honor. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in the world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So, silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others.
She closed her eyes for the last line.
But this is a murder trial. I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would.
She told us the truth in the beginning. When she said she saw nothing.
Very well. Does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine, please.
But what is there left to ask?
There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me.
Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself.
Very well. The defense may proceed. However, be aware that this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness.
We can't press everything. And we won't help.
Okay. There was only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Oh, no. Hey,
she has no memory of light.
Take you in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came on my PR line before he knew this. Something in sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course.
It's this. Why would he say she's the witness if she couldn't see? Yeah, press this.
Press or present?
We don't have like evidence that would say like where he's saying it, so I would say press it.
When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Lettuce? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
I believe I know what's bothering our young defense attorney. You were thinking of when you discovered the body, yes?
Damn.
Is he right, Apollo?
Yes, I was. The 7th time we see this cutscene.
Why does it show it over and over and over?
I don't know. Also, it bothers me that they don't even go to the line that they're referencing. They have to
Yeah, they
replay
just show the whole thing. Oh, he said she can't see. He doesn't mean he can't see.
Can't see. Can't see. The witness is siren. Oh, he said that for her?
Yeah, he's saying that it's not that he can't see because he's dying. He's saying she can't see.
But she's the witness. Oh. Mr. Lettuce told me to ask the witness, and he named you. What? Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know.
Tisk tisk.
What?
What did I just say? Tisk tisk. You need to learn to think for yourself.
Meaning what?
There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. Let's watch this cutscene for the 8th time.
The witness? Siren? We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. They keep reciting this scene so many times, I don't know why.
I remember them well myself, but that statement is not what I refer. I mean what he said before that.
Before? What came before that? What?
Yeah, can't see! That's right, he tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself, and when he said before that, so cold, he was probably talking to someone else. He was talking about the witness.
I see.
Too bad the defense did not, and nor can Lami. Well, here, forehead. Try relaxing and looking at the facts for the first time next time.
Ah! Order, order!
Recall the mirror's earlier testimony.
As I'm away from the stage to the backstage edges. There were 2 shots. Couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that.
That is not the most important point here.
Hmm?
The moment he was shot, Mr. Lettuce witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness?
Ah. But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice.
Unfortunately, such a thing would be impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course.
But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant.
What does that yellow magician's voice sound like?
We never heard him speak. He just showed up and disappeared. Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation?
Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Lettuce left us.
Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterwards. Detective Crescent, your report, please.
Dude, he's gonna talk and she's gonna be like, it's him! I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find the answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian.
Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent?
IPXX 314-206. The agent registered under this number was Romaine Lettuce.
Romaine Lettuce.
What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Lister Lettuce himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation.
So, when he wrote those letters,
he was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Lettuce was an undercover Interpol agent? So him being the Mirror's manager...
which is a cover.
Sorry.
Which is a cover, most likely.
There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romaine Lettuce. He had a permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent having such a large revolver.
So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op? I wonder how that ties into everything.
It's gotta tie in somehow, you'd think.
Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help.
No problem. I'll just be heading out now, unless Lami has something to say.
Oh, she has something to say! I have something to say. Lami, is something the matter? That voice just now.
Darian?
Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him?
You aren't saying...
That voice I heard talking to Mr. Lettuce when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian.
Is this some kind of joke?
What?
No way.
The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state, the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I've never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lami, fingering Darian Crescent. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice that Lami heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it.
Hey, no wimping out, Apollo!
To be continued. Well,
Ron, do you want to say goodbye to yourself from the future? Tell yourself goodbye.
Bye.
thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching, Future Run.